Okay, so we're looking at making data tables and graphs using Excel. So it says we're going to run an experiment. We're going to record how far a car traveled in kilometers. Measurements will be taken every half hour for 3 hours. So I'm going to make my data table in Excel. But the first thing I want to do is kind of figure out what it's going to look like. And I want to pick out my variables. So I have two variables. I have time and I have distance. Time is my independent variable. Distance is my dependent variable. Again, my dependent variable is the measurable condition. It's going to be the data collect. And that's what it says I'm going to collect. I'm going to record how far a car traveled. So distance is my dependent variable. When I go to make a data table, these things are going to be my labels. And I always want to begin with my independent variable in the first column. So that would go here, that would go there. Of course, this is ugly. It's kind of sloppy. We want to make it nice and pretty. So we're going to go ahead and do that in Excel. So when I get to Excel, I'm just going to click on a box and begin working. So I've got time and I've got distance. All right. And it says I'm going to record my data every half hour for 3 hours. So I'll start with 0. And then I'm going to use hours instead of minutes, but you could do every 30 minutes, 60 minutes, 90 minutes, 120 minutes, and so forth. I'm going to go ahead and do 0.5, 1, 1.5, 2, 2.5, and 3 hours. All right. I'm not going to put anything in here for distance because I haven't conducted the experiment yet. All right. So think about my requirements. I need labels. I need units, which aren't there yet. I need a title, which isn't there yet. And I need a grid of lines. To do a grid of lines, I come up here and click on this button to add borders. And I'm going to select all borders. Notice I selected everywhere where I want there a border to be. So there are my borders. Go ahead and add my title. Call it driving distance. And now I'm missing my unit. So time, I'm going to put in parentheses just behind it, hours. And distance, I will put kilometers. One thing to be aware of, you never want to put your labels in here with your values. Let those just be numbers, and that way Excel kind of knows what to do with it. Alright, so now I've got all my requirements, but my data table doesn't look very nice. So I'm going to take my title, and I want to get it centered. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to select the cells above my data table, and I'm going to click Merge and Center. And then I'm going to go ahead and make it a larger font so it stands out a little bit. And I'll make it bold so it stands out a little bit. But you can see now it doesn't fit. And you also notice this little kilometers is sticking out because it doesn't fit in the cell. So if I come up here and click, I can expand that cell, and I can expand those cells. And now everything fits, everything's nice, everything looks good. So I'm just going to go ahead and highlight. So I'll double click and drag, highlight everything, and then I can right click, copy, and then I can come over to my OneNote and paste. And when I paste, notice it gives me these paste options. You might not have noticed these before, but this right here is paste as a picture. If I do a normal paste, it's going to import it as a spreadsheet. Now I can type in it if I want to, but you'll notice the format's a little bit different. The size of this is different. My title isn't labeled. So I'm going to paste it again, and this time I'm going to paste it as a picture. And now it's just a picture. I can make it whatever size I want. It has a nice format. It looks exactly the same as it was when I made it in Excel. So there is making a data table.